have talked about the fight and all the good work the Democratic Party has done helping Americans for years and years. But when we look at how people vote, women with a high school education or less over the last 20 years have been progressively leaving the Democratic Party. And when we've done, an autopsy post-November 9th, many women have said, I understand that the progressive movement is a loud and extraordinary voice, but I don't feel connected to it. And whether it's right or wrong, they've said things like climate change, it's not something I think about. Global citizenship isn't something I have the opportunity to think about. And many women voted based on their basic needs. They felt like they needed to make sure their homes were safe, their cities were safe, they could put food on the table, get a job, and get their kids in a good school. They didn't feel that that is what the Democratic Party represented anymore. How are you going to bring those women back while at the same time keeping that progressive movement moving forward and inspired?
I would slightly expand the aperture of your question, because that issue applied to so many people across America. The African American in Milwaukee who felt left out and stayed home. The rural voter in Northwest Wisconsin that I visited last week who said, you all don't respect me. You don't simply ignore me, you don't respect me. And women across America who feel like the party has not been speaking to them. And so that is why we are... Yeah, sit in. Okay.
Excuse me, please sit down.
Supporting primary challengers to fight against incumbent Democrats who refuse to resist Donald Trump's agenda, yes or no?
Please respect the forum and the way this night has been organized, and Mr. Perez is going to answer the question that's been asked.
Will you commit to supporting primary challengers who fight against incumbent Democrats who refuse to fight Trump's agenda, yes or no?
I want to say probably one of the most important things tonight is to respect one another, and let's respect the forum and Mr. Perez answering the question. So please be seated and respect tonight's agenda. We're very lucky that Tom Perez gave us his time tonight, so let's not put him in a difficult position.
Let's go. First of all, folks, thank you so much. Part of the reason I love the Democratic Party, folks, is it's a big tent. And when we have spirited debates, what it reminds me of is Thanksgiving dinner at my house. Because when you grow up in a family like mine that had a lot of viewpoint diversity, we often had some barn burners at Thanksgiving dinner. And then what we always did is we locked arms and we reaffirmed our shared values. And that's what the Democratic Party needs to do is, again, come together, because our shared values of inclusion and opportunity and respect for everyone are what our party is about. And that's why I have been so proud to be a Democrat. My father, in his Ricky Ricardo English, would say, Tom, a Rockefeller Republican is still a Republican. That's what he would say day in and day out. Because he understood that the Republican Party, or the Democratic Party, was the party of opportunity. And to get back to your question, and really to get back to these questions, you know what it's about? We didn't make house calls in this past election. We didn't make enough of them. We don't listen to rural America. And that has been an issue for many years. You can't show up at a church every 4th October and call that a strategy for engagement. We can't continue to have this, a society in which we're building more prisons than we are schools and call that fairness. That's not who we are as a nation. And so I believe that our values are the right values, our values of economic security. The reason why we will win is because we are telling those stories. But we've got to make more house calls. We've got to have a 12-month-a-year organizing strategy where we're touching every community and doing a heck of a lot more listening and being together with these folks in solidarity. Not leading, but making sure we add value. That's how we succeed.
Thank you, Tom.
Next, we have Peter Pekarski of Wisconsin.